This song kind of made me laugh a little bit. Not obviously in a disrespectful kind of way to the Lord, but in reverence, just how when you read the first half of it, you get to verse 6, and all of a sudden the mood changes. The first half kind of seemed like it was going to be a happy song. And of course, we read a lot in the Psalms of vengeance and the Lord carrying out wrath on people who are not for Him. So when I was reading, and we see praising His name and sing praises and dance and singing, being joyful in glory, and then all of a sudden we get to verse 6, and it says, "Let the high praises of God be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand." It's like, oh. So let's talk more about verse 6. Verse 6 really summarizes this song well. So again, it says, "Let the high praises of God be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand." That is, in the very work of executing the purposes of God on His enemies, there should be the feeling and the language of praise. Their hearts should be full of confidence in God. They should feel that they are engaged in His service. And while they defend themselves or inflict punishment on the enemies of God, they should chant His praise. Understanding that they are mere instruments in the hand of God to accomplish His purposes. And the two-edged sword in their hand is no other than the Word of God we read in Ephesians 6:17. One of its edges is the law, and which in the Spirit's hand cuts deep into the hearts of men, lays open the corruption of their nature and the swarms of sin which are in them. It causes pain and grief, working wrath in the conscience. It wounds and kills, and it is therefore called the letter that kills in 2 Corinthians 3:16. The other edge is the gospel, which cuts in pieces the best of men, all their works of righteousness, which it removes from their justification and salvation, all their wisdom, holiness, free will power, and creature abilities. It teaches them to deny ungodliness and worldly lusts. It is useful to refute errors and defend truth. It is an instrument, and only a passive instrument, used by the Lord as His power unto salvation. It is a sword, but only effectual as it is a sword of the Spirit. It is a part of the weapons of our warfare. It is mighty, but only through God. It can do nothing of itself and should be in the hands of all the saints. Quick thoughts that I had in verse 1, it also speaks about singing to the Lord a new song. To me, that's powerful. Some of you may not know, but me and Christian and Ray, we make music. We make Christian rap. And all the music we make is to glorify God. Point blank. Not to glorify ourselves, but it's awesome when we listen to instrumental, we listen to the music, and then we write the lyrics. It's obviously singing to the Lord a new song. It's not us thinking about someone else's song and then kind of basing it off of that. They are new songs, they are new lyrics. And a while back, I remember, since I listen to Christian rap, I have a bunch of it, and sharing it with Ernesto, and I have instrumentals as well, and Ernesto tells me, give me the instrumentals as well. So I asked him, write music? He says no. So I was kind of curious about that. Why would he want instrumentals if he doesn't write music? And it's because he wanted to sing a new song to the Lord. And that's what explained to me that I listen to the instrumentals and I just sing. Thoughts come to my mind and the Lord just reveals things to me. And I thought that was so powerful, that without needing to write songs, that you can just listen to music and give Him praise and the glory that He deserves. And then another, Chuck Smith said this in Psalm 22:3. It tells us that He doesn't just enjoy our worship, but He inhabits it. He's not just up in heaven looking down on us and saying, look at them praising me, but He's here with us as we sing unto Him. And the other thought was in verse 5 that it says, let them sing aloud on their beds. So again, little humorous. What does that mean? Sing to them in their beds. And what the Holy Spirit just showed me was some of the best times of fellowship that I have with my wife are in our bed. Me reading to her, watching her in the Word, late night while the kids are sleeping, and we're able to have that intimate time together. And I'm able to read to her from the Scriptures. Same thing with my daughter. My daughter's 6, and we have times of crying, powerful times together. Me trying to explain to her the gospel. Happened not too long ago. Me trying to, as tough as it is with a 6-year-old, but trying to like describe to her the passion that Jesus went through for us. So that's what I got out of that verse as well. Of just of us praising Him in our beds. Of just that we do have intimate time with each other as a family. Sometimes, if you're teaching your children at night before they go to sleep, reading the Bible with them and things like that, and then also with your spouse as well. So that's what I got out of this psalm, and God bless you guys.